So, speaking of Jeremiyah Love, what I would like to do now is I would actually like to bring up his film so we can kind of look at it and just kind of talk about that comparison between the two players when you look at him compared to a Jaden Lamar. Because I think we would all agree that Notre Dame's best chance at getting a second back in this class is Jeremiyah Love. And that's not exactly what I would call a consolation prize, but I think he's built very much like Josh Adams. Ryan, you talked about this in our last show. I think he runs more like CJ Procise, a little bit shiftier than Josh was, but he's a really he it's hard not to think Josh Adams a lot when you watch him play. When you see the explosiveness and all that. I think there's a little bit more elusiveness, and also the positional flexibility is why I like the CJ Procise. But it just is a pure running back, Ryan. I think your Josh Adams comparisons make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a little bit. He's a high-legged kid, right? That has long strides, and he can absolutely fly. Like, that's the comparison. He's going to be 6'1", maybe 6'1", and even some change. And I think he's going to be 215 before you know. But I wouldn't necessarily call him a power back. Like, this is a one cut and go. This is like an outside zone runner who has home run speed. That's what I see with Jeremiyah Love. Right,
and that's why. And I think the Josh Adams comparisons are good. Josh wasn't exactly a powerful back either. He's a lot like those 2017 backs. Now, this is all against DeSmet Jesuit. These last two long runs, this is against DeSmet Jesuit. So, I mean, there's like at least 2 to 3 Division I defensive backs and defensive players on that roster. And he's just ripping them. He's a pretty good football player. Very and the thing about Jeremiyah is he's still to me, still kind of new to running back. Obviously, 2020 was kind of cut short because of COVID. 2019, he actually played more defense than he did offense.
Yep.
And then this past season, he was splitting carries with a kid who I think he was a 1AA kid. I think is where he went, the starting running back on their team. I believe went to a 1AA school. I could be wrong on that. I could be having to confuse somebody else. But now this year, you expect Jeremiyah to be more of the guy. But Ryan, Brian, I don't know if you are familiar with the stats. See, this play right here this isn't something that Josh Adams really did. You know, if you got to Josh in the backfield, it was going to be a tackle for loss. I mean, that was just the reality of it. I think this is why I really like Jeremiyah. But Brian, he had almost 1,000 yards as a junior and didn't have 100 carries. He had less than 100 carries and still had over 900, almost 1,000 yards last year.
Yeah, it was almost 11 yards a carry. It was just ridiculous. And when
some of those cuts right there are just 1 foot in the ground too. That's a great sign.
And that's what I like that's why I think the CJ comparison works the best for me, is that right there. Again, Josh Adams, as good as he was, can't do that. He just doesn't have that. Josh was a lot more leg than I think, even though their height's not too different. Josh this kid has more torso, and Josh had very long legs, and that's not exactly an ideal thing for a running back, in my opinion. That's why you don't see a lot of 6'2" backs.
He's a very sudden back, very sudden. Mm-hmm. I think his upside is tremendous too, because like you said, I want to see what type of numbers he puts up this year as the guy, right? Because that's
another year and a full year under his belt now. Yes, you're 100% right.
Exactly.
And if you see pictures of him, he was kind of a skinny kid last year. He's starting to fill out his frame too, which is another thing I'm looking forward to seeing from Jeremiyah Love. And there's some clips. I don't know if it's in here or if in the game film that I saw, but there's some clips I have of him running like vertical routes on the outside as a receiver and winning one-on-one contested throws. I don't know if it's on here or if it's on the game film, but we'll see here in a little bit if it comes up. But he can catch the ball out of the backfield too. He's another guy that could play receiver if you need him to. And Notre Dame had talked to him about maybe being a safety when they thought that they were going to be full at running back, but then obviously they made the decision to. That's a nice cut right there. That's 2 nice cuts. Like to jump, cut out, and then bam, see that, and then get vertical. That's a nice play. Put the ball in the outside arm, kid.
It's a high school junior, Brian. We'll be all right.
I know. Would you see that from NFL guys and D1 guys where they just get tossed in one hand? Like, get the ball on the outside arm.
Yep. Yeah, and when I talked to him before, he said, I can be a corner, I can play safety, I can play wide receiver. Like, he's just that dude.
Yeah.
Do we really think that he can play corner?
He thinks he can.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
Well, a lot of kids tell me that down here too, but corners.
The point is more of the willingness to do whatever is more.
I like that. That I do like.
Like wherever you need me, like that's a nice move right there. Brian, you got to watch this freshman DB film. I definitely see safety. I don't think he's a corner either, but I definitely see safety. But he moves He's got some fluidity to him. There's no doubt about it. I just think his upside is greater as an offensive player. And normally I'm the opposite. Smitty, you know this. Normally, if a kid's 1 or 2, I play him on defense. Like I'm like that way with Micah Bell. I'm like that with Micah Tees. But there's 2 kids in this class that I think are two-way players that I actually like better on offense. Jeremiyah Love is one. Ronan Hannafin's the other.
Well, I hope they don't have to take Ronan Hannafin based on who they're recruiting at linebacker. That's another story.
You mean don't have to take him a linebacker? Agree. Yeah. He's an offensive. He's more of a rover. He's a rover if he's on defense. But to me, he's more of a – Alabama's recruiting him as a safety, which is –
Oh, really?
Yeah. They see him as like a safety hybrid outside, like hybrid sort of rover type of guy.
Oh, they're going to play him at the star position?
Yeah. Notre Dame wants him a receiver. Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Yep. Notre Dame wants him at receiver. And I personally like him better on offense. And I was back and forth for a long time. I mean, I remember we were talking about him a couple months ago, Ryan, and I was like, on Monday, I like him better at receiver. On Tuesday, I like him better at safety. On Wednesday, I like him better at rover. And then on Thursday, he just started all over again. I've kind of zeroed in on him on offense. I think that's the position where I think he brings the most to the table when talking about Ronan Hannafin. But the point is these are 2 guys that I actually like better on offense than I do on defense, even though I think they can play both. And Jeremiyah Love especially, because I think Jeremiah is a bit of a project defensively. Like there's a lot he's going to have to learn. The skills are there. For me, it's more of I just think that speed and that size, because that's the difference with Micah Bell, right? Like you say, well, if you want the speed, then why don't you put Micah Bell on running back? Because Micah Bell is like $165.
Yeah, that's not going to work out.
Yeah, Jeremiyah Love is about 180 right now. He's going to be 200 when it's all said and done, right? If not, 205, 210.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think he could be like 210-ish pretty easy, honestly. He's got a frame, so –